Yeah, that's way back in the 50s when we were known. Placencia was a small fishing village. So those days, the fishermen they used to go like for a month at the quays, catch a product, and those days they never had ice, so they had to salt them, can, put them in the sun for 3 days, then they dry, then they sell it to local markets. In the Lenten season, they usually sell to clients come from Honduras and all that. So they got over there, they don't fish for the Lenten season. So later on, as the years go by, they started dealing with lobster. But those days they had to go all the way up to Belizean, and there was a boat named Lucy. They used to take the fishermen them out and a big boat out, refrigerated boat, for like a whole 3 weeks to a month, and they freeze the lobster. Those days the lobster used to be, my dad told me, they used to be like 7 cents. It depends on the size. For a lobster, a big lobster is going to be 7 cents. And it goes down all the way down to 3 cents. It depends on the size. And then they take them out to the United States. But that time they buy them whole, but the next time that they come back, they find out that they lost because after they freeze all, their foot drop off and so they had big losses. So when they come back again, they just buy tail them off and buy them. And we were here, the woman here was without man for a while. And we went to school. Back the school then those days was like what? Let me see, about 30, 40 kids in the school from like standard one to standard six. And it was like 5 of us in a class more or less. And we went to school and when time to take primary, the older heads had to go to Dangriga in a sailing boat. Take no road here. The only way we could have access to the center was by boat those days. Take the primary and come back home. And to reach here too, they had a Heron I could remember the Heron H in Honduran and the Maya Prince. They used to traverse the coast for like they leave Belize and Heron H used to leave Belize at 6 o'clock in the evening Saturday. Stop in Damriga, stop in City River. Just drop the paddle out and take their stuff off because they didn't have that there. South Stamp Creek and then Placencia. Then from there they continue on Monkey River. They do the same thing. They steam out to the boat and just take off what's in it. Punta Negro, Punta Gorda. Then it turns back on Sunday evening. Sunday evening about 6 o'clock. We back up here and do the same thing. Then it turns back down on Tuesday and go all the way to Post Barriers. And then they come back up on Thursday. And if you want to go by road, you got to go over to Mango Creek. The only Independence Day, there's Mango Creek. And catch a truck, get in a truck back and dirt road all the way to the junction at Langriga there. From there we go on. But as the years goes by, we get when I leave school at the age of 14 and I got a standard six, it was 4 of us in standard six. And we went. My godfather asked me if we wanted to go. We take a course of algebra from a guy named Jim Grover. He was a key scorer in the village at the time. And we went out to start catching lobster, making our own money. And from that day onward, I still roam the sea and we start. We had to take a product all the way to Belize City again. We stay out like, we had ice box in a boat that used to last like 2 weeks. We want to ice a product, take it to the city, load ice and come back here, stay a couple days with my dad. They used to stay 2 days with their family. Then you go again because you can't stay here too long because you're lose out on the ice and stuff. So they had to end up working and take it to the city and we had national coke with the process and market our product for us. Those days I was still in school. Well, I catch part of it after I leave school, doing the same and run to Belizean and back. And by 1966, I think we were the first electricity around the coast time to get electricity in the country. They built a light plant there, and they used to do processing and marketing. The boat in the area, diamond used to come at the dock and take up out to the United States. And until that reached United States, then they reimbursed it. Coke, they send the money back, wire the money back to the Coke, and so you get, there's lobster was like 75 cents a pound, 1966. That's what they used to pay us. They used to get like $1. And then as the years goes by, it start getting expensive, or it start raising the price until right now. But those days in lobster, we were the only fishermen in this area that used to fish this area, the south. But as the years goes by, I had the guys them from site, and they have to come all the way down the street to catch further. Not, I believe there's no site, and here was way on the other end of the country, so they have to say like 100 miles to get to work spot. Then they come and light down here. They try to build a coping plant in here, but I didn't last because when the north wind come, they couldn't reach back home, and they end up selling their product to the fish and coping release, so the cooperative just flopped. And today the same fishermen them they join Northern and National Coping release. That's what got them. They're going now. So that's and they fish out our area. So as the years goes by, you get fished out. Usually leave an area to work an area and leave it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then you go back over it again. But as you left the area now, somebody else come anchor there, and they have out there just mess now. They break cars to get out of that stuff. Just the truck full and they catch it on the side, the juvenile. And back to the village, when we were coming up, we used to have, instead it takes a village to raise a child, but we couldn't do anything out of the way and get away with it. And those days my mom used to lash my behind with shoot it boom. Yeah, and you can't, if you can't, some other guys run, but it's no use running. When you come back, you'll get double. So I respect my parents for that. They used to real discipline, and the teacher could have lashed you too, don't they? Now it's getting out of hand. The parents, they don't know. It's a real mess today. As I say, the Bible is good. And we enjoy it as long as it lasts, but as the placenta grows, everybody gets to find it out now, and it's not the same placenta that we used to know when we were a kid. And they never used to build house from between the sidewalk and the beach. Reason why? When hurricane comes, you are the first to get big. And I think, as far as I can remember, the only house that they used to build on the front of the sidewalk was Bishop. When I heard about Bishop Down and his house, and way back in the 40s, 50s, they built their home there. A couple guys did it, but nobody used to build on that side for the same reason. But the beach is nice, but it comes with a price because it messed up the roof, the nails in the house, they start bleeding, the salt there just keep everything rolling. And that's what makes the discouraging from building houses on that side. And this used to be, before this was the sidewalk the Bishop done, he built a boardwalk all the way from the dock, all the way up to by right side of, you see where Pose is? On this side of, they used to live on this side, that open lot on this side, that had belongs to them. But Iris come and sweep all of that away, so it still remains the same way. They built a boardwalk, then from there they built a narrow sidewalk up to there, and back in the 70s they decided to prolong it all through the village. Then when they built the dock there, they decided to widen it and get it all wider. But those were some good days. I dream about them a lot, but 1% used to be the same. Well, when we were kids, I understand And the young used to always say, make use of when you're home with your mom because when you go out there, it's something else out there. It's tough. Well, being a kid in school, primary school, about when I was like 10, 15, 14, 15, yeah. And we used to have the best cricket team in the country. We used to be all the teams in the country. Yeah, so I was not to praise myself. I used to love cricket. I played football. I got my feet break when I was 19 years old, and from then I just quit. But from then, my Herbert Ely, Kylan grandfather, he drafted me to play with them when I was 15 years old. I had to go and ask my parents permission to go to them in Silk Cross. I remember Silk Cross was the first team again. While I was with them, but they used to play before. They used to sail all the way up to. They used to sail all the way up to Mananti to play cricket in sailboat. Yeah. And I get the opportunity to play because that's something that I love. But the youth today, they just want, they love football and basketball, and the cricket just fades out. We try to bring it back, but the youth still are interested in it. But they still play it up in the rural Belize Valley there. It's still a big game. And working on the sea as a boy, we start hooking lobster and spearing fish from we were kids too, So lots of lobster used to be around. And I end up staying here my whole life. I have to say, I went to the United States twice, Miami and Houston for like 2 weeks at a time. My brother and two sisters, they went over there too, and I salute them. But I remain behind here. I love it here. I'm still here. My parents? Yeah, my parents my mom had a sad story because she never, her dad was a lighthouse keeper. And her mom, I don't know if you heard about 1931 hurricane. Yeah, my mom, two sisters, and her mom was marching on they hit on the 10th of September in Belize City. The whole country but Belize City. And they were marching, celebrating, and then they say the sea receded, take out all the water, and everybody rushed there to see. Never know about hurricane those days. And when they come back, it's fall off everybody. And a bunch of people died there, including my grandmother and his two sisters and his holding his mom hand. And she grew up with a foster parents. She grew up with a lady named Mrs. Lambert. She was pretty strict. She and my uncle, I don't ex-uncle Carl. They were the youngest in the family. And they came to Placencia and they meet my dad and they get married and they had 5 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls. And they were pretty strict. As I said, they was strict. You can't say. I used to tell these guys, you can't say anything like bad word around them. Like we will say pee. We couldn't say piss because that's a bad word. You have to say number 2. We couldn't say shit because that's a bad word. Batty, we couldn't say batty. We had to say buttocks. All these things, they were too strict for me. And when we get out by we only say what we want, but sometimes we go back and they hear what we are saying. But yeah, and I learned a lot from that. And I grew up to be, I probably stand like my dad. I just want to have, I don't like a lot of women. I found the love of my life and I stick with her. So hope you head don't get too swollen there. But yeah, I just don't like to cheat. I don't, cheating is not good because you do something out the way your wife go and do it too. They say 2 rounds doesn't make a right. Sometimes that's what happens, and then you have kids. The kids they get they throw off their mentality and they think they could do the same thing, and then they go up doing the same thing, and right there. This, yeah, one, they say one slip on a slide. So the old song say one careless step of thoughtless breathe. Then the misery start, yeah. The thoughtless deed, yeah. But by and by, so far I'm blessed. I have all my kids in the village, so a lot of grandkids, and I'm proud to be those are my riches. Yeah, that's what makes me. Yeah, and I'm surprised, the way I don't like to quarrel to begin with. I hate people that quarrel. I live amongst people that quarrel a lot. It just gets you the other way. So I sometimes walk away from a lot of trouble, instead of stand up for it. And that's what make that I never believe so much people admire my way of life in the village until when I lose my engine up there, everybody just come up for me and they will help me get back an engine. But I'm blessed for that. And I thank all of them. But as life goes on, and some of the older, a lot of my older boys that went to school, they just passed, and it hurts me because some of the things that they were doing, I try to advise them not to do it, and they just keep on doing it. They say, okay, the older they get, they go, time. It's just something going to come to kill you anyway. But when you know what's going to come, you got to cut loose a lot of your habit that you had when you were young. If you want to live a little longer, yeah, hold on to the thread that leave behind. So that's what I do. I just I walk the line. Yeah, I say I love to be in Placencia. I don't care to live anywhere else, and I I don't know my last for words for saying I just like to be around people and try to guide them and show them the way that make you happy as you get older in life. And as I said, I don't like people just quarrel and fight, fussing and fighting each other and stuff. I'm just happy to be in a nice neighborhood, quiet, no disturbance. And I'm happy to be on the still being on the sea. I love this. I love the sea a lot. We started swim from early when we was going to school when we were kids. At that age, then the guy go take a dip in salt water before you go rinse off, and from there go to school. And we had these kids today. They have it real good because I must need say I had two parents here. Sometimes those days things weren't like today. Things were tough, real tough. My dad they used to go up Big Creek and make plantation. Yeah, they used to go. The old guys used to go up plantation. They used to set nets for turtle, and they can the meat and sell the shell because the, the Hacksville shell those days was valid. They get $10 a pound for the Hacksville shell. So they save up for they put them in crocus bags, sell them to agent and they used to buy them and ship them to Europe. And they used to make a lot of money from that. They used to catch it. They had the loggerhead and the turtle, but the green turtle they used to mostly sell the meat. The shell from the half wheel, they use the shell for jewelry, and the belly shell they make glue from it. And then here comes the strong United States, put a ban on turtle, and then they couldn't ship that anymore. But a lot of them the old fishermen used to mine lighthouse keepers, and they set their nets while like an extra for them, find they sell the fish and take it to the market. Yeah, those days were real tough for them. My dad used to give me a lot of experience when they were kids coming up. Like you put you put pizza fried fish in a plate. Now these kids are skin up. Want to fried chicken. Yeah, and that's healthy food, that. But yeah, they used to make plantation, and during the war in the last World War, they said that. Nothing couldn't come to Belize because, the world was at war, so they had to plant their own, make their own plantation and you live from the ground, from the earth. So they have the fish right here. So, well, so far the tourism look pretty bright and yeah, because a lot of people didn't know about Placencia. A lot of the tourists that used to come over the years used to go in San Pedro, Picaca, and they look like they didn't know much about Placencia. And once they come here, they don't try to go back there. And the changes too is Placencia was owned by some, just because about 5 or 6 people owned Placencia in the because the whole Placencia was owned by Garba way back. Garba used to own the whole of Placencia. So you had like Mr. Henry Buckner, Gladys Garba, and the ushers. They used to own most of Placencia. And these guys, they don't live here in Placencia, so what they do, the value of the land in Placencia going up, so they come and subdivide it. And then they put a price on it, they just have to walk away from it. The local couldn't afford it. That's why you see a lot of foreigners moving in, because it's crazy. This piece of property right here, see Pluma, you see that? Yeah, the price that I understand an Indian own that piece now. Yeah, the money that they want for that, that they buy that car, you can't afford it. I'm blessed. This piece that I get from my grandmother, or just this piece that my sister has in that car, so that will remain in the family. But yeah, but they subdivide and they live in the city and they just sell land. They belong to see in the middle there. Those are foreigners doing those. But the island over there I think my grandparents used to own that too. But those days they didn't know that uh, right here in Placencia behind the school there, from sidewalk, we have the battlefield out there first, and I clear picture in the middle. And behind that was one bush. The Romero used to own that. And then they let it off and then they wanted like $2,000 per lot. And those days that was incentive. We said that it's too expensive. And before you know it, that is gone. So yeah, the tourists taking over and you make a good living from the tourists when the season is on. Yeah, the fishing is out. I I had my license for 2 years and I last 2 years and I had to catch a lobster yet. What happened we used to before the season opened we used to try to go because they don't do proper patrolling when the season is closed. You try to go and steal a couple of days in before the season open. If you don't do that, you wait till it you wait till you open and then nothing is there for you. The guys will be out there ahead of you and when they put down traps, they steal your traps or they break them up. So, it's no use. The, the natural environment here to me is we have a nice beach. We have we have the keys close to us. All those islands out there have their own reef around them. You don't have to go all the way out like San Pedro. You could swim from San Pedro to the Barrier Reef. The closest point here is 18 miles from here in Guanaki. But as just and along the coastline here has some beautiful coral as well. So we have everything around us that is unique. It's a Placencia. I think Placencia means pleasant point. That I think that's the name. That's the definition for Placencia. So we have as you notice we have a nice harbor. That island provides us with a nice. I think it's the best harbor along the coastline so far. Dangriga same right there. They're placed right out in the open. You have that island. If it wasn't for that island there, I feel like a lot of the land would have washed away. So it's a natural environment, something to love and appreciate. Well, well, this part is true. We say when the progress bring problem, and when the tourists come, we have a lot of camp come along with it. And not only that, the marijuana. Maybe you guys smoke it. I used to smoke it too. I quit about 35 years ago. But what happened to these youths? Most of the young youths now, they smoke marijuana. They don't want to work. They get lazy, and then when the marijuana doesn't do anything, they go to heavier stuff, and right now they just like I watch it from the kids that started. But when we used to smoke it, we used to have a police here. Oh, by the way, the first police came to Placencia in 1917. So, the regional Sanko used to have to get police from Simbay to come here to do. And after the drug, they start getting too much. It used to be weed and the cocaine coming in and everything coming. So they and now they had to have a Sanko. And when tell you when they want to smoke weed, they go to the bush, going on the bush. But still, when you go in the bush, you can look for it. But I'm not wrong with smoking marijuana, but know when to get enough. And I had the chance of have a look at cocaine, two of my buddies. They had to drive up with us, Sunny Blue Angel to be, and they had 3 lines of cocaine on the dashboard. We were drinking that. Then don't roll up the thing and sniff up the first 2 lines. And they come hear me for that line there. I said, that I'm going in my nose. And he could have that. So the 2 guys and just cut it in two and snip half each. And one of the guy grabbed the thing and lick it off. Crave that. Anyhow, yeah, that's what I think that's what marijuana is going to do with the youths of today. Most of them they don't, and they, right now they legalize 10 grams. And just like it's legalized, and if the minister wants to legalize it generally, I don't think that's a good idea just to make money from it. I think it's going to ruin the future kids in the country, and more gunplay, more violent, and one dog is around that comes with a big price, and this guy they don't care to kill you. So I think that's a big problem in the village. The youth and they don't have respect for all of them lose respect for the older heads. They don't have no manners. They just a few of them do, but the majority don't. They just you walk and knock you down and just look up. They so cut you with some eyes or look at you on on the board with some eyes. But I don't pay them any mind. Well, I don't like goat again like one time anyhow. But those days, time when we used to smoke it, we used to know each other and everybody from here. But now everybody mingle, we don't know who is who. It's becoming a problem now. So I would like to see that change, but I don't think it's going to change. Way back 1962 or 63, we had a guy from Boom in Kanjili. We were kids, sit on my mom veranda up that way and say, my mom mentioned, this name is Cordelia, but I said, Miss Cordelia, you know what, you're going to see this whole peninsula light up. That's how it was, say electricity. I thought that was foolishness. From way up to from Riverdale, they say you're going to see light up. I never see that happening those days at time, and now it's come to reality. Because all the way up was bush, all the way up from point you had this first stop, then saying by between there, no houses were there. Just lone bush from Placencia Cove right there where the blue roof is. That the first house built there, my grand uncle get a contract to they bulldoze out the area and then they get a contract to build a house there. So he gave my dad was a cabinet, I gave him this some contract to just put up the foundation of the house. And from there that's when the first house built over there in the 60s. In about mid 60s. And from there all the way up and down, Rum Point was the only place where my uncle used to live. And from there to Sydney, it was the one bush right between all the way to Sydney. We used to walk there. This part I didn't mention, but when we want, they used to have good tailors in Sydney. We used to take our uniform for school up there. We used to walk on the weekend. So take our clothes, cloth up there, measurement, and leave it there. Then they give us a 2 week period to come back. but it had to be on a weekend, and we walk all that way. A bunch of us walk all that way, go pick up a uniform, pick up a plum, grape, whatever along the beach. That used to be fun for us. Yeah. So and mango, we had a lot of mango trees. When mango start to ripe, everybody get them box and go before they go. Big boxes of mango. Really, that used to be fun. When 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 school gives holiday, like month and a half, used to have an aunt. They used to go to Global Community. They take us out there for a month and a half, spend all that time, then they come back when school is young. Start anew, start fresh with a fresh mind. I look forward for that every year, man. Like, yeah, the whole head used to the island too. They used to live on the island and create coconut, set the turtlenet as I said, and they take about 3 or 4 pigs and feed the Maya and the trash to the waste to the pig. And make coconut oil and oh man, the hard work coconut, pick coconut, chip it, peel it and grate it, squeeze it, fry it. Yeah, it's a lot of work. But they did it, yeah. Sailing, and there was those sailing boats, no motor. I think it's probably the first fisherman get a motor here was back in the late 60s. So a little 5.5 hours where it was on sail, small sailing dories, canoe, and sailing boats. Yeah. Tradition, but well, yeah, that's the fishing, tradition, and yeah, I used. My dad was a carpenter, and I get to learn from him carpentry. Learn to sail boats and whatnot. Learn a lot from them, and I would I would want to see the tradition come back. That is, well, you can't go to the kids anymore because the kids are already gone. So they sold up all of those. But all the older heads used to build dories. They used to do a lot of stuff. They used to knit cast net. They used to do a lot of things that I don't know if any. A couple of the guys they know for knit and cast net, and but a lot of things some of the other kids they don't take the tradition from their parents, and so they just die with that and leave that. Yeah, I try to get as much as I could from my dad, and I I build my own house. I do. Only thing I don't like construction cement. No, I don't like that. That's too much hard work and mess. Yeah. So I do carpentry. Well, I guess not all of them is bad, but majority I think they just come for their own. They just come for their own. They just want to get here and settle in, and after that they don't need you and do what they want. Because they're some type of people that you can't tell anything to. They want you to listen to them. And number one, they have their kids is very rude, no respect because, and I think that's the way they bring them up over here. And they don't lash their kids. We do a lot of that. Now, if you even lash your kids, they could call the police on you, but that doesn't make. Some people do abuse doing that, but I think that makes you a better person. And from the stop doing that, it just goes haywire. But with the foreigners, that's for them problem. The kids to cheat them off and tell them whatever they want, and they just stand there looking like. So if they could only do like Belizean do, you could work. So there's a few of them that is okay, you could probably get along with, but I think the majority it's a problem. So, they need to mingle and have some meeting or some little, what you call it, get together and just talk about their history and you talk about it and see what you could, what, which you could use from which side to fix it and, try to balance it in between, one-on-one basis, like have little meeting with a group, yeah, and leadership and they could fit in. Because some of them they really like here, when they come here, they don't want to go anywhere else. And they will be the future. That's what I say, the future in people in Placencia, like foreigners want to take Placencia over. How they could work together.
How we can work together, Mr. Bobo?
I think they will have to start by getting in. They have the village council meetings and things. If it would happen, if some of them get on the committee or something, and they work in the meet, and they have, I think every once a month or so they have meetings, try to exchange views, and I'm not sure how that will going to work. It's a puzzle for me. I could try it and see what they could get out of it, but some of them come with that mindset. Hard to change when you grow up in something, and especially when you come to an next country. Yeah. The only thing with them white people, I don't like with them, I guess when I find it so, they leave their house and bring their dog for your property, come shit on it. When they shit, they look the other way, so. But that time they quite have an idea, I have a slingshot where he'll help with them, refresh their memory.
Tell them to pick up after animal.
Yeah, then just stay face it, and just, some of them do pick it up, but the majority they look the other way.
Yeah.
Teach them to use the toilet at home. I buy pampers for them, so. I hate that then. I left off and I come and cock up and piss in the house post. Run out on the greenest smell and shit. Go and go about like nothing happened. I never see one of them look. I never see one of them do the same thing. I leave one boat so they have, but they have it on leech. And they shit down there. You take your time, pick it up, haul out, wipe, and clean the dog stand too. I never see that happen. That's not. I said, well, you're okay, but still they gonna left mess up. You have to dig up, shovel up piece of the sand when you come up with it. They got you still left with that stuff. But I actually say that, and take your time, wipe chocolate in the dog. I say, yeah. Yeah, if any time I think about anything else, they're gonna make gonna fit in somewhere, but that's my boyhood and the older generation, how they used to live and stuff.